Tanner, I can't read the script you wrote.
Shh, Derek, it's not scripted. Hey guys, welcome to the Two Guys No Script podcast.
Hey Tanner, how's your day?
Good, how was your day, Derek?
Oh, it was good.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I was in your day.
Oh, I don't mind you some days.
Oh,
You actually
really?
got out of the crane today.
Yeah, but that's because of, catastrophic failures with machinery.
Yeah, at least I didn't blow up a motor.
Yeah. That is my fault. I
Guess
take ownership.
guess you should have checked the oil.
I should have. Well, Derek, where are we going to go today?
Well, I think you wanted to talk about my homeless trip I want to do and kind of my caveman ways.
Yeah, I do. Before we get into that, we want to take a minute to mention we thank you all for the amazing support you guys gave us off of the first episode. Now, this is a little delayed in us saying that because we recorded episode 2 in short succession from the first one. But what's your take on it?
I can't believe that we've got almost 200 views on it. I mean, that's an hour out of 200 people's days. So that's a lot of time that people spent listening. And when we originally talked about doing this and kind of like our goals, we thought maybe we'd get like 20, maybe 50 people. Like if 50 was what we were going to be happy with, 20 was kind of what we were expecting for views on the first few episodes. But yeah, almost 200. And hopefully it keeps growing. Hopefully people didn't listen to the first one and be like, oh boy, I don't want to listen to another one of these. But
Well, I don't know if people are just saying it, but I mean, my phone has been almost every day someone's asked, when's the next episode? Why don't I have a new episode? You guys, that was great. I mean, we've got a long journey ahead of us to get better at this podcasting game, but I think if we just keep going, I think we'll get better and hopefully continue to bring good content to everyone.
I think so. And it sounds like a lot of people that listen want to come on at some point as a guest,
Yeah.
which we are not opposed to. We want to try and get as many guests as we can on at some point as we continue to make episodes. But right now, we don't have an extra mic. We just have the two mics. And we want to try and get a little more comfortable ourselves at making them and everything before we start getting guests on. So,
Yeah. So, yeah, there's, I don't know, at least 10, 15 people have reached out and was like, I'd be on your show. That'd be fun. And then there's people I've even heard through here say like, oh, I want to be on the show. I mean, I think at some point, I don't want to put a deadline or a timeline on it because one, we need to be comfortable with this ourselves. We need better equipment to handle it and be a little more set up for it. But I think it would be some fun, like every other week, have a guest on and get some experiences from other people because not only do Derek and I want to share about our friendship, but we want to talk about day-to-day events and even we share a lot of common friends, just get some stories from them or different topics from the world and just we want to talk about it all on here. So I think it'll be good. One thing we kind of are kicking around is Derek and I checked into like a merch thing. And it's kind of early on in the game to be talking about merch, but I ordered 2 shirts. We're gonna see how it goes with the shirts. I'm gonna make sure they don't look like shit. And
I mean, they're going to have our faces on them. So,
yeah,
they should look good.
Yeah, right. I mean, how could you not like that? So I ordered a shirt for Derek and myself, and they're a couple weeks out. But we're kind of throwing it around. So on in our description, there's a support the creator tab, and it can be you can do a one-time donation. Just don't select the recurring payment, or you can be in a recurring subscription. And we don't necessarily want to ask people for money, but we were kind of kicking it around at some point, throwing it out there. If you do a certain tier subscription every month, or even if we get a lot of people, we could do it more frequently. We draw a name out of the donator list, and send him a shirt. We will announce that more. There's a lot more to come with that. Obviously, a couple more episodes. We got to get the shirts, kind of iron that out within ourselves of what we're going to do. But be on the lookout for that. I think the shirts online look pretty nice.
Yeah, I thought they look good. It's pretty much our logo, it looked like on them.
Yeah, so I have the two guys no script on like the where your boob would be, and then on the back is our full on logo with our faces. So I mean, as long as it meshes well with the shirt, it's a black shirt because our background's kind of black, you know. So I hope it works out. I'm not too good with that whole graphic design thing. But I mean, if it works out, I think that's something we're going to do. There's also send us a fan mail thing. You guys can send us like a text message and we can receive it and read your comments. You can also leave us a comment on YouTube. You can leave us a comment on Spotify. And we'd love to hear your feedback if you guys would be interested in something like that. We're not saying go out and donate right now. If you do want to support the show, feel free to go on there and send us a donation. Like I said, we're not asking for money, but if you want to support us, it's there. I don't know what you think of that, Derek, but I think
I mean, right now, so the donations aren't anything to do with the drawing for merch right now. It's just if you want to donate, you can. We're not going to turn away money. We'll use it to get more equipment so we can bring other people on. But then, like Tanner said, when we announce it, we'll probably do some kind of a drawing for a certain tier.
Yeah.
For some merch.
And there's ways within the website I can see the emails of who donated. And so we just send you an email, get your shipping info, and or if you know us personally, we could get a hold of you that way too. Another thing I want to mention before we get really into the show today, we do have more social media platforms. We officially have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, and a TikTok. Within that, there is a link tree of all things there should be a link tree in all the descriptions that can get you to all of our social media platforms, as well as I believe some of the podcasts like Spotify and whatnot. So if you guys would go over, give us a follow on Instagram and a like on Facebook and, you know, follow on TikTok, we'd really appreciate it. It's just going to be another avenue. We could also do some announcements on there. The Facebook page is just, I believe, two guys. How is that? I'll have to look it up here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And then we also talked about we might try and do like a sneak peek of the next week's episode on them so you can kind of know what's to come. Because we're pretty much trying to keep a week ahead on our recording just in case something comes up.
Yeah, so the Facebook page is called Two Guys Podcast. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, when I went to make the page, it would not let me name it Two Guys No Script. I have no idea. Two Guys Podcast worked fine. Two Guys No Script, it wouldn't let me. So Instagram, it is Two Guys No Script. Like I said, I believe in the link tree. You can get to all of our social media platforms. I think I got it figured out. I'm not the greatest with that, but so if you guys would give us a follow there, and yeah, like Derek said, we're going to try to take snippets out of every episode and give you like a funny moment ahead of time to give you something to look forward to. Once we get into taking video of our podcast, that'll change even more. You'll get to see our reactions. We're working on getting the studio kind of figured out. It's not much of a studio. It's just an open basement, but figuring out how we're going to make the setup, get the camera, and how we can both be in the shot and still looking at each other, because that's, I feel like, the true form of a podcast is us talking to each other. We got to capture that. So,
yeah.
All right. I think there's enough of that. Let's get into this. So, Derek, obviously, we've been friends for a long time, and as much as he loves the modern day things, I think he was really meant to be in the caveman times. And why is that?
Well, I enjoy living off the land not living off land because I don't live off land, but like I like doing like Grammy and I will do a scavenged meal. So like in the fall we'll go hunting for small game and harvest an animal, find wild mushrooms, wild ramps, which are essentially like a wild onion, and make dinners out of them. Or we'll do mushroom crust pizza. And so I really enjoy doing that. And like camping, I enjoy. And I don't know how it would go, but my dream is to one day live completely off grid. And Remy won't quite go for that. So that's kind of the holding point of trying to do it. But I think it would be fun.
What about it? This just inspires you. I mean, there's so much that you went into such great detail on your wants out of this.
I think it's just an interesting way to live. Like, not everyone does it. Very few actually do it. It's a simpler way to live. There's less to fix. There's less to break. It's you take time to do everything. I mean, instead of as simply as getting up, throwing on your clothes, and going, you'd have to in the winter stoke your wood stove. You'd have to make sure your wood was cut. If you wanted your coffee, instead of just going to your coffee machine and pressing a button, you'd have to get up, start your wood stove, use either a French press or a percolator, take time and just, I don't know, it would be like everything you do would have more purpose. You wouldn't probably waste as much time sitting on your phone doing that kind of stuff.
I give you that. I mean, no technology is something. I haven't had TikTok in 4, 5, 6 months now, and it's amazing how much different life is without TikTok. But like on a deeper level, could you survive without running water?
I think so. That would be showering, I think would be the hardest because obviously working at the junkyard, we get very dirty. So trying to shower and clean up every night after work would be probably one of the more challenging times. In the summer, I'd be fine. I'd go down to the lake and take a bath in the lake or the river. And I'll do that sometimes instead of showering first when I get home. I'll go swim and then you're halfway clean already. So in the winter though, that would be a little challenging. You'd have to somehow get water either by a hand pump well or drilling a hole in the lake. But I think the showering would be the hardest. I don't think I'd have an issue using an outhouse.
I don't think your woman would like that.
But I'd get her a composting toilet inside.
So I think it was Black Friday shopping with you two. And I'm sitting in the back seat. I'm kind of zoned out. And I'm just like, all of a sudden, I'm coming to them two going at it about whether they need running water in their future house. And Derek's like, you brought up a good point. You don't have to worry about frozen pipes or anything. You don't have to worry about like water supply. You just live in your house. You shit outside, go to the lake for water.
Yep. And then in a lot of counties, if you don't have a toilet, you don't need septic, so you don't need a full septic permit. You need a non-plumbing septic permit, which actually allows you to get away with not following as many building restrictions and stuff. So it would be a lot cheaper way to build a house. I mean, the prices of houses now,
right?
It's like, how are you ever going to afford a house? It's astronomical prices. Where if you could just build something on your own, you'd still have to do permits and stuff. So it would be more expensive. I mean, just the actual cost to build a house. And if you didn't have the loan or the well or the septic, it would be way less.
How would you survive without Facebook Marketplace? Would you have like a little pedal bike thing attached to a generator to get like, a little bit of electricity?
Well, I could charge it in my truck, my phone in my truck.
Oh, I forgot to mention this. I think in the past 2 episodes, this man's truck. So he's got it's not new, right? Your white truck. It's what, a 2011?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty rough shape, but
it's nicer than the hunk of junk that's sitting in my driveway. I mean, he's got a 99 Ford V10.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing, it's missing part of the front bumper because it's all rusted out. It's mismatched colors. Does the heater work?
Heater works.
Man,
No air conditioning. 5-speed.
the simple amenities that this man enjoys.
I paid it $500 for it. I've had to do a little bit of brake work. That the brake parts may or may not have came from the junkyard. So if I happen to rear end one of you, no, the brake parts were brand new. For liability.
Yeah, for liability reasons, that wasn't said. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of envious of your truck a little bit. That thing is, I mean, I just could care less if I hit a tree or did something, hit a deer.
Yeah, I've put 10,000 miles on it and haven't had any real issues. So
10,000 miles on
10,000 miles.
That thing's a hunk of junk. But I mean, I used to have a hunk of junk like that, and that was a good girl.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to your way of life. I think you could pull it off. I think you were crafty enough that you could pull this off.
I think I could.
I mean, I don't know how you would smell. You probably wouldn't be able to be around anyone. But, you know, the more I think about it, your way of lifestyle is like spot on. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do the podcast if we lived like you, though.
No, well, one of us would have to have enough internet.
So I'd have to have the electricity and running and internet.
Yeah, and then I could do my once a week good shower here. Really get clean when I come over to do the podcast.
So I wanted to make this episode, but with a video, and dress Derek up like a hobo and make him just look rough. But you know, we didn't get that far.
I mean, the way I sit here right now, just got done with work, I probably look homeless enough.
Yeah, I mean, and then, you know, if you start walking with your limp a little bit. I'm really intrigued by this. And I hope a lot of people are too, because I think our world would be much simpler if we all wanted to live like Derek does.
It would.
I mean, you're kind of a mix between like modern day and the Amish, you know.
I mean, obviously, right now I live completely normal, electricity, running water, everything. It's just a dream of mine is to live that way.
But do you want to live that way for the rest of your life, or just do it short term? Or
I think so. I mean, I'd want to live that way the rest of my life if it was as great as I think it's going to be. But obviously, if I do it, and it might be very tiring, you know, every night you get home from work, you have to restart the stove, let it get warmed up, warm up water, take a shower, clean up that way. I mean, I'm sure it would get tiring. And finally, it might be like, it would be easier to just pay the extra money to have electricity and drill a well and do all that. But my goal would be to live my whole life that way.
That's impressive. I think we need to know why you're such a caveman. Now, I have a picture in mind, and Remy sent it to me, and it's you crawling out of a cave of some sort. You're shirtless, and I actually took AI, and I made it look like you're like a freaking bear crawling out of this cave, and you're roaring. And I lost that video. I cannot for the life of me.
It's in our text.
It is?
It's in our messages, I'm pretty sure. So
Okay.
if we can find that, maybe we'll post that
We're going to have
to TikTok.
There's another one I'm thinking of too, and it's the one where you catch a fish with your mouth. That one, the first time, so there's a local place that people go. They can go fishing and go swimming. It's kind of a rough spot. And Derek's like, and I went there a few times with Derek prior to this one incident. And he's like, I can catch a fish with my mouth. I'm like, no way, Derek. There's no way. And so he crawls out in the water. What was it, a carp?
Sucker.
It was a sucker. Crawls out there, and up he comes with a fish in his mouth. It looked like a bear, you know, like in the wild, he's got a fish up whipping it around. I'm like, no way. So I told him, do it again. And I don't think we can share the real secret behind the story.
I think we can.
Okay. How do you do it?
So I place my hands so they look like I'm leaned up on a rock. And the suckers are spawning, and that's the best time to catch them. You can catch them with your hands. So you just pretty much put your hands in the water rub your hand against the fish and they think it's another fish, you get it up by their gills and you can grab them. So I'll put my hands in the water, make it look like I'm leaned up against a rock, but really my hands are still free and I'm leaning on my elbows. And I'll catch it with my hands and then just put it in my mouth and come out of the water with it in my mouth. And it looks very believable. You guys will see in the video if we find it.
I
and get
think
it
this
posted.
video needs to go on social media.
Yeah, well, you posted it one time and it got, what was it, 1,500 likes?
No, I got like a crazy amount. I can't remember the likes, but it was,
I think it had 15,000 views and 1,500 likes.
yeah.
about.
So it was, and it would have went further on TikTok. I posted it on TikTok, and TikTok kept flagging it as dangerous acts. Like I tried 3 different times, and it blew up all 3 times, and it was comments like half bear, half man. I mean, it was,
Who put the shorts on the bear?
yeah. It was all these funny comments, and I really wish that TikTok wasn't so stupid and would have let that thing blow up, because, I mean, you probably wouldn't be working at the junkyard if that thing would have went viral. I mean, you would have been a sensation.
The worst part, I have to bash Tanner on his camera skills. So I told him to start the video with my hands out of the water because I can make it look really believable, like I caught with my mouth if I start with my hands out of the water. Well, he didn't start recording right away, so my hands were in the water by the time he started recording. Some people were saying, oh, he had it in his hands already. And
Yeah.
whatever, which wasn't a lie, but I didn't have it in my hands when the video started. I did catch it with my hands and then just put it in my mouth. But
Bad camera skill. Don't get me started on that. Apparently, so the other night, my old lady was telling me that I take bad pictures. Apparently, if you take a picture of something, you have to have it centered in the picture. Like, it's got to be perfectly centered. I didn't know this. So I'm a bad picture taker. I'm a bad videographer. Just bad at all sorts of pictures. Don't ask me to take a picture or a video of anything because I'm gonna fail at it. Yeah, that was fun, and I think we need that video out there again because it's time.
you know,
That is probably my favorite Derek video. Like, just thinking about it brings me great joy.
I like, so when you were taking that video, another one of our buddies was walking down there to meet us, and it's kind of like cliffs around the river there. And so he was walking on the cliffs, and it's a beautiful spot to take pictures and videos and whatever. So he was taking a video of like the scenery and the river and the falls and all that, not knowing what was going on down below. And then he goes to me, not even realizing what I was doing. And I have the fish in my mouth. Thank God it was our buddy that knows me, so it wasn't like any surprise to him. But yeah, I probably could have scared some strangers away.
Yeah, thinking about that, could you imagine if some randoms were walking down there as you're up in the air with a fish in your mouth? I mean, if I walked up on someone doing that, I'd have probably just died laughing.
Especially, well, you guys will hopefully see the outfit in the video. But yeah, I was wearing cut-off jean shorts, I'm pretty sure. No shirt.
No shirt, yeah. And it wasn't nice out that time of year,
No,
was
it's this time of the year. I mean,
so it was
the
probably
suckers are
still
running
fairly
this week,
cold.
so, yeah, mid-April.
The water wasn't probably warm. Let's
No.
put it there. Okay, yeah. So now you know a little bit more about this man and his tendencies, and I'm sure there's more. And honestly, I can't think of all your caveman tendencies because there's just, I mean, some of your ideas are just out there.
Anyone who's watched me eat also knows I eat like a caveman.
Okay. So we went to Taco Bell one time, and I ordered, I think, a quesadilla, and you ordered like 3 tacos, a quesadilla, and something else. And I barely done with my quesadilla, and this kid is walking back up to the little kiosk to order more. Anywhere you go with him, you're eating your meal, and then Derek's just sitting there watching you as you eat because his plate got set in front of him, and he's done.
Yeah, I don't know why I eat that fast, but I have since I was a little kid. I mean, I have 2 brothers, but it wasn't like we ever had to fight over food. So I don't know if it was just because if we had leftovers, I'd eat so fast I could get leftovers.
Maybe.
But I've been like that since I was little. I've always been the first one done eating and eat the most.
And the quantities you can eat is absurd.
Yeah. trying to cut back on the quantities.
You still on the diet, or
keep my girlish figure.
you still on the diet, or do you give her up for now?
No, I gave it up for now. I'm gonna go back on it in a bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was trying that diet thing. It's easier just to be fat.
Well, it doesn't help that where we work, I don't know what it is. Everyone and their brother thinks, oh, I have some expired food. I bet those boys down at the junkyard will eat it.
So we're not complaining. We're not complaining.
No, we love it. Because they're right. The boys down at the junkyard will eat this expired food. But everybody brings us day-old donuts to week-old donuts, expired candy bars, any like fruity snack. I mean, Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, stuff like that. So every time we walk into the office at work, we have an array of candy and pastries, and Tessa always gets us pop.
So, I've been doing good. I think it was like 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, or maybe it was last weekend. So we were out of water, and I had to cave for a pop. I had a killer headache, and I wanted to take an ibuprofen. That was the first pop I had in months. Since Valentine's Day. I had a pop at Valentine's Day. That, I did kick that. And I'm so much happier without pop.
Yeah, I haven't had a pop for a while.
You're not much of a pop guy, though.
No, back in high school, when I first got my license, because I never got pop growing up. And then when I got my license and started working after school, I'd always have a case of pop in my truck. And I drank a ton of pop in high school. Then, like junior, senior year, I dieted and lost a ton of weight. And so I stopped drinking pop on my diet. After that, I've never really been that big of a pop person. I'll go on spurts where I'll like have a pop with lunch for like every day for a week, but I just feel sick afterwards. So yeah,
that's
try and stay away from it.
That's what I've noticed with pop. Like when I used to drink it all the time, I didn't really notice it. But now if I have pop afterwards, I don't feel good. Like I'm bloated and just have a stomach ache. I feel really full after it. It's just not pleasurable. But yeah. What was it? The Moon Mist, right? If I remember right.
Moon Mist, yeah.
Moon Mist from the Quick Trip. Derek loves the Moon Mist. I bet if I bought you a case of Moon Mist, you'd drink it.
I'd have one. I'd probably be like, oh, this is gonna be good. So excited for it. Open one, drink half of it, and then regret opening it because that's what happens every time I drink a pop. Now I get about halfway through, and just want to pour the rest out.
I give you props for not liking pop. I like the flavor. I just, now that I haven't drank it, I don't like the feeling.
Don't get me wrong. I still like pop, but just I can't drink a whole lot of it.
You like the milk.
I love milk.
It's funny how we both like milk so much. You drink way more. I go in spurts. Like
I slowed down when I started the diet the last time. Milk wasn't on it really, so I slowed down drinking it until I'm not in the routine of drinking all the time. But yeah, before then, I could drink 2 gallons of milk a week.
That's insane. I go in spurts. Like I'll have a glass with dinner a couple times a week. And then there'll be weeks where I need 3 glasses with dinner. I don't. But now I've been trying to cut back on some of the foods that I eat because we got that 5K we got to run. I don't need to be 300 pounds running down the trail trying to beat you. I mean, after that, that's steak dinner.
Oh yeah, the one you're gonna buy?
No, the one you're gonna buy. I'm faster than you.
Yeah, but that's unfair. I have a bum leg. I should get a head start.
All right. We need everyone's input. Derek challenged me to this race, but he thinks it's unfair if I beat him and do better because he's handy-capable. I don't think that's right.
I guess the steak dinner will do straight up, but bragging rights, I'm always going to use it as an excuse if I lose. That's an if.
That's an if?
If I lose. If I happen to somehow lose.
I'm just going to hide on the side of the trail. I'm going to wait for the group to come back. I'm going to pop out in front of you and take off. I just gave you my secret. That's what you're going to do.
Probably.
No, I'm going to run it right beside you, and then as we're coming back, I'm just going to take off.
Okay.
I'll be nice, but I can't let you in.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous.
For bragging rights, so I'm always going to use the excuse if I lose.
I'm a little nervous.
Why?
I don't know. You surprise me sometimes. Your leg's just gonna magically start working this summer, and I'm actually gonna have to like put in the effort of training for
I
this.
hope so.
That would suck. That would really suck, because then you're gonna hit the diet really hard, especially if that happens, and I'm screwed. Can I ride a bike?
Should we do it on bikes?
That
would be more even.
Can you pedal a bike?
I think so. I guess I haven't tried riding a bike. I mean, I can ride my motorcycle and I can pedal a exercise bike. So
I guess
put the two together. I mean, it should be pretty close.
We might have to put a training wheels.
I'll get a tricycle.
I'll give you the unfair advantage. You can have training wheels.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I rode a bike.
But that's actually like a disadvantage because that's more friction. You know, you have two more axles spinning.
We can find the tiniest motor and put it on there.
Okay.
To give you that little boost. I think that's fair.
Okay.
That's fair. All right, Derek. There's one big thing that this is something we could do together or you could do by yourself. What's your dream vacation?
Oh, the homeless trip is what I call it. And essentially I want to get a plane ticket to a city somewhere. I mean, somewhere where it's warm. I'd either do it in the summer or go south in the winter and do it. But I pretty much want to bring my driver's license and a certain amount of cash for like emergency stash and maybe phone. I haven't decided on the phone if I want it just for like a safety backup or whatever. Pretty much fly somewhere, have no hotel room, don't spend any of my cash if I can help it, but just live like I'm homeless. Go find a beach, walk the beach all day, swim in the ocean. I'd probably go somewhere on the ocean, so there'd be some enjoyment to it, but pretty much walk the beach, sit on the ocean, find some place to sleep that night, sleep, get up, beg for money, or that's where I maybe would like give myself an allowance so I don't have to beg, because I don't want to beg for money and then take it from other homeless people that actually need the money. But so yeah, either beg or give myself an allowance. Pretty much just live like I'm homeless. It would be a super cheap trip. It would pretty much just be plane tickets. You'd probably want to like try and base it off the weather, but obviously plane tickets you can't like get them. Well, you can get them the day before, but usually it's more expensive. But yeah, just pretty much live like I'm homeless. Probably try and conversate with the homeless and maybe kind of make friends with them of sorts. And just
I could see you getting wrapped up into this lifestyle. I could see you leave everything behind at home. You get down there, you meet some homeless people, get into the lifestyle. I think you would accept. Like, have you ever watched Shameless? I don't think
not really. I've seen clips of it.
So if anyone's ever watched Shameless, Derek's like Frank Gallagher. He is. I mean, you're not an alcoholic. I don't want to say that part, but you could be a bum and excel at it and get all the other bums lifted up in the air. Like, I'm rewatching this series right now, and he just got a homeless shelter like given to him because he was so good at begging and stuff. And now all these homeless people live with him. Like, that could be you. And you kind of look like you got the long hair, your beard, you're just kind of burly looking. You could pull this off. Maybe that's your true calling, Derek.
Maybe this should be like I can do it like a missionary trip. Go down, live with the homeless, try and build them up.
As long as you come back once a week for the podcast.
Okay.
And honestly, the amount of content we could get from your trips. I mean, all the stories you'd have to tell. You'd have to start your own podcast. You'd have to leave me in the dust.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'd love to film it. I'd love to like follow behind you and just like once a day check in. I could hold your cash. Like, all right, Derek, here's $10. See how far you can get on your $10.
Yeah, that's how we could do it. You could go on an actual vacation, then every
Give it a
day
few months of-
I'd have to go and sit and beg, and then Tanner would come by and give me my money. And
You know what we could do? Now, this could be an idea. Since you don't technically need the begging money, you could beg all day. I could give you whatever you begged for, and you could go and donate that begging money to other homeless people.
that'd be a good idea.
So you're getting your experience and you're giving back in a way.
Yeah,
That's a good idea. I think we need to make
you
this
might
happen.
just solve the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can still experience the begging and getting money from these people, but then you could just give it to other homeless people and use your own, as long as I held on to it. I think we solved it. All right. We're going to book the plane tickets tonight? Or?
Maybe we should do a thing like later on once we get a bigger following, like so many views on the next video or so many likes on TikTok, and I'll do it. And then
Yeah, that would be. I want to do the thing we talked about earlier. So Derek's the one that came up with the idea. I can't steal that from you. And I've hemmed and hawed over, but we want to buy a junky vehicle, a junky minivan. I think is kind of what we settled on.
minivans, yeah, kind of.
So then we could sleep in it. But we want to get the junkiest, the cheapest minivan, the junkiest thing we can find, and take off and drive and see where we go. And I don't know, when we've talked, we've never really had a destination, have we? We talked about Vegas the one time.
We talked about doing Vegas or doing Route 66, or I think it's called like the Cannonball Run or whatever.
Oh, yeah, the
Where you go
Cannonball,
from coast to coast. And the idea is it's a race. So you try and see how fast you can do it. But we're not going to try and race because we don't want to get tickets and we don't want to beat a beater vehicle any worse than we have to. But pretty much just try and drive it from coast to coast and hopefully not break down, but we'd probably have a few O'Reilly's stops on the way.
We should go with nothing but like a little Craftsman set with the tools. Like, it's the essentials.
All hand tools, no impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm kind of trying to think of a number, and I want to make an outlandish number because I still want to do this at some point, and I think, but if you guys want us to do this, we're talking, we could do a podcast in different states. So maybe like that week we do it, we could do a couple podcasts and video it. And if you all would want to see that, let's say 1,500, 2,500? What do you think? For how many views?
I mean, we're at 200. That's probably a lot of people we know, so we need to start getting out there. You guys need to start recommending us to other people. Should we say at 3,000 views,
All right.
we'll plan the trip? Not saying
3,000 total views or 3,000 views on this
3,000 views
episode?
on one video, or on one episode.
Okay.
Any episode.
Any episode?
On any episode. Once we hit that 3,000 views, we'll for sure do it, unless we do it beforehand.
Well, I mean, we'll kind of have to coordinate it. We can't promise it right away because we're going to have to take time off of work.
Yeah. It'll probably have to be in the winter, I would
Right.
assume.
Yeah.
Sometime where we can both take
What we
extended
should
amount of time
do-
off work.
We should try to get like a little bit more time off of work. Go on our like actual vacation, like go someplace vacation, and buy a junky car there, and see if we can make it back home.
That'd be kind of fun. But we'd have to do like a few days. Like we'd have to take a roundabout way to get back home. It's like
Right.
Florida, that's only 2 days
Right.
in all driving. Like, or Arizona if we went, but
Right. All right, we're gonna say it. If we hit 3,000 views on any episode, we will take a trip of some sort like this, and we will do it. And we will take you guys along. We'll video it. We'll make different podcasts in different states and explain our journey. I think this would actually be pretty fun. And so, but what that means for our listeners is you guys have to share. And I mean, we appreciate, like we said earlier, appreciate all the support. But if we can get this out there and get more listeners and make this happen, that would be amazing. Like, I think our dreams would come true just off of that trip. I mean,
that would be a fun trip. A lot of memories. Could probably make a few podcasts off of it.
well, I think, we can make one in every, well, I wouldn't say necessarily every state.
I think a good way to
If-
do it would be like take videos and post them on our social media, and so people could follow along with them throughout the entire trip, and take portions of podcasts throughout the trip, and then make it like one big long podcast at the end, or maybe do one like halfway through and then
Well, I mean,
final.
our setup's a podcast on the go. I mean, if we got our phone hotspot would work.
Yeah.
We could do one like if say we had like a 3-4 day trip, we could do one every day. But I think taking video of what we're going through, like if we break down or something, that has to be on video. I mean, who knows? We maybe would make it there and back and not have any issue.
Yeah. Just get to enjoy our trip.
Yeah, that would be fun. I like.
And I've always said I want to take, well, not always, because I've only owned it for a year and a half or 2 years, whatever. But the green V10 that's sitting out in Tanner's driveway, I've wanted to take that on a road trip since I've got it. So, I mean, maybe we could take that. Maybe
I feel like I trust that too much. Though.
I know I've drove it too long that you don't have that like excitement of you don't know the vehicle. But
Right.
well, if we get closer to that 3,000, we'll have to do a little more planning. Maybe find some marketplace choices. Put the V10 in there also. Maybe have our viewers
That would
vote.
be. That would
You
be
guys
good.
can choose what we go on the trip in. We'll have a few selections, but yeah.
I don't know. I think a minivan. I'm not saying I like the idea. We can throw your truck in there and vote, but if I had my truck, a minivan, we could find a cheap mattress, throw it down on the back, and we could sleep. We could cuddle,
Yeah.
keep warm at night.
Yeah, that'd be
I don't-
nice and romantic.
I am definitely. I don't know. Would I want to be Big Spoon with you or Little Spoon?
You'd definitely be Little Spoon.
Really?
Yeah.
What's worse?
I think Little Spoon.
You think
'Cause
so?
You get poked then.
Yeah, I guess.
I get a mitt full of tit.
I got like double D's here. No, you're not double D. What do you think? C's? B's?
Oh.
A's?
Might have to go to Victoria's Secret and have you try out bras. Could make an episode about that.
That would be fun. Should we take we should be vloggers. Start vlogging. Hey guys, vlogging our trip to Victoria's Secret.
I don't know if I can do vlogging.
Why?
Like, this is hard enough to just talk into a mic, and
You're doing a lot better this time.
I feel like I have been.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep my ums and uhs and
Ah.
my laughs to a minimum.
Well, we need some laughing, but I think you are expanding on your ideas a lot more in this episode, and that's powerful. I mean, the second episode, you did good with that, but now this episode, I'm getting that life out of you.
Yeah, and we haven't even released the second episode yet
Right.
as we talk, so it will be released
Do
in the
you
morning.
imagine if that thing takes off tomorrow and we get 3,000 views and we're like, oh shoot, we gotta take this trip a lot sooner than we planned on.
Well, I'm hoping, that's this winter, so
Yeah.
that would be if we get 3,000 views on this episode, let's say, which, not trying to be a Debbie Downer, I don't think will
I don't
happen.
think so.
But that would be this winter. We'd probably do it December or January.
Yeah, I think with our work, with us both being gone, probably like the December time. I mean, our boss obviously has let us off both in that time frame. So if we
Yeah.
both
I
took
mean,
off,
if we really want to, I'm sure he would let us take time off together any time of the year, but try to be nice and
well,
not do
we're
that. He
really
wouldn't be too
busy.
happy.
Yeah, we're really busy right now, and it's gonna get even busier. But I think I hope at some point we hit 3,000 views, because now it's like, now that there's a goal to take this trip with you, I want to do it. Like before, I was always on the edge, but if I can go and we have a goal and like I have to,
And especially getting it to document it all. Like,
oh yeah,
when I first started bringing this trip up, this was way before the podcast
Oh, yeah.
was even an idea. I mean, and it was always like, oh my gosh, that would be so fun. We'll talk about that forever. But
well, and like
now having actual documentation,
Right.
videoing it, letting other people know about it.
Well, and
I think it'd be
before
fun.
the podcast, neither one of us ever really cared about social, like, taking videos or in excess or documenting our fun experiences.
Yeah.
There's so many memories I have of us together. I'm like, I wish I had a picture or a video from that time, like, to look back on.
Yeah.
So now I think we need to start doing that. And there's so much stuff I wish we could talk about that in our day-to-day life, but there's so much that's not able to be out for the public. Maybe at some point, if we get like a whole team of lawyers, I think if we got like 10 lawyers, we could just start releasing the.
And it's not that we're doing illegal stuff. It's just
stuff we can't.
Yeah.
That the public can't, like, we can't just share to everyone from our day-to-day life. And there's some people we could have on the podcast. I mean, the stories, the stuff they could talk about. I mean, it's endless.
Endless, yeah.
I think we need to bring up some controversial topics like time to time, and some funny moments. I think that would be good for us.
I think it would be.
We need to get a podcast where we need to like study up and figure out what we could bicker about for an hour and do a podcast of us just bickering. That would probably be our 3,000 view episode.
Yeah, because like at work, we won't even have a conversation. It will just be straight bickering for an hour straight, just because we're bored, or not bored, because we're working or whatever. So like we're bored of work, working together and just bicker for an hour straight.
Yeah,
and everyone working around us just thinks it's the funniest thing ever.
I mean, our one coworker, what did I call you the one day? What did Gavin die laughing about? I called you something.
I don't even know. He loves it when you call me as you're a chunker munker.
Oh, my chunker munker? I can't believe you brought that up. So if your mom is listening to this, I give her the highest praise in the world for giving you that nickname. Thinking of chunker munker, when you shared our podcast, the first episode, do you know what my name is on your phone that you shared?
Is it Chunk Man?
No, my user, the name you named me on Snapchat.
No Nanner Tanner.
Yeah, No Nanner Tanner is the one you shared on your Snapchat.
Wait, so that comes up?
Yeah, it came up on my end. Like when I clicked on it, on your story, it said No Nanner Tanner. It was like you shared my post or whatever, like reposted or however Snapchat works with that. So I'm just thinking, oh great, I'm gonna be forever known as No Nanner Tanner.
Yeah, that's Tanner Banana.
Tanner Banana.
No Nanner Tanner.
When did you come up with No Nanner Tanner?
I don't know.
Was it around the Tanner Banana stage or?
Yeah, I think it was like during construction when they call you Tanner Banana, and then I started saying No Nanner Tanner.
Yeah, when I seen that was my name on your, I'm like, no way, that's still my name on your phone. But then I'm like, but I only nicknamed you Chunker Munker on my phone like a couple years ago when your mom told me the story. I'm like, I heard Chunker Munker, and I'm like, that is the most perfect nickname for Derek I've ever heard. Like Chunker Munker. You're my little Chunker Munker.
You're my little No Nanner Tanner.
I don't have a nanner, but I got something else.
What's that?
Grapefruit between my legs.
Can I bring it up?
Allegedly, yeah.
So, Tanner's girlfriend told me that he has huge balls. His balls are enormous. Tanner always says he has saggy balls. So then we got into a debate, and we came to the conclusion that each of his testicles is about the size of a 5-hour energy.
Well, not fully. You got to cut the cap off.
Yeah, without the cap.
And you said that's not normal.
Nobody at work thinks that's normal.
I have never.
Maybe all the junkyard boys have small balls.
I've never seen another man's balls. I think we might have to compare balls at some point.
So, if you guys want Tanner to go to the hospital and get it checked out, she also says they're squishy.
They're not squishy.
If you guys want him to go to the hospital and get him checked out, you should probably comment that on one of our social media platforms or on our What was the like fan mail you were talking about?
Yeah, there's a link in our description somewhere. At least on Spotify, it says fan mail. I don't know how it works. So please, someone try it out so we can figure this out. It like lets you send us a text somehow. I hope it doesn't send it directly to my phone number. My phone number becomes public. I mean,
Here,
not that.
do you guys want his phone number?
Yeah, let's not. Well, you know what? Right now it wouldn't be the worst thing ever, but if we got really big on this stuff, my phone number, I've had the same phone number for like 15 years. You want me to lose my phone number?
That'd be kind of funny.
That would not be funny.
If you guys want his phone number, it is written on a bathroom stall in Michigan. I can't remember what bar it was, but
It was in Houghton. Is that the name?
Houghton, I think, yeah.
That is a man. I was just gonna say we should start wrapping up, but I can't leave that bathroom unattended. So we went on a snowmobiling trip, and this trip could be a whole podcast in itself. But I think how do I not just describe the whole trip? Do we?
Well, maybe just describe that bar and
Maybe.
how
I think we got an idea for another podcast now, though. That trip.
that trip.
At least
yeah.
include that into the podcast. So, anyways, we're up there. We're I don't know. I don't remember how old we were, but we go to this bar, and I made the mistake of not using the ladies' restroom. So you walk in the door. To the right of the door. Well, I don't even think there was a door, was there?
There was no door. It was just an
Okay.
opening.
Yeah, so it was just an opening. You walk in, right to the right is the urinal. And that was what pretty much all the guys are using. And I'm there and I have to take a shit. We've been out snowmobiling all day, probably drinking a little. I have to shit. So I go in and there's no stall door on the bathroom stall for the toilet.
It was pretty much like the little wall that separates urinals at most places.
Yeah.
That's what separated the urinal from the stall.
Yeah, so there's no door, and I'm sitting there shitting, and I'm having, I mean, I have an occasional long shit, and a guy walks in, and this is the most awkward situation I've ever been in. And I've been in some awkward situations, but I'm sitting on the toilet. This guy is pissing next to me. So what do? I go, how's it going, man? He's like, pretty good. How about you? I'm like, I don't know. This is pretty awkward. I don't know what to do here. He's like, next time use the ladies' bathroom. There's stall doors in there. So I learned my lesson if we ever go back to that place to use the ladies' restroom.
Yeah.
But what did you do to me?
So the bathroom was covered with names and numbers and just nonsense and Sharpie. So me and another guy we were with went and asked the bartender, like, hey, is it fine if we write in the bathroom? And they said, yeah. So we're like, okay, do you have a Sharpie we could use? So the bartender gave us a Sharpie. So we know it was fine to write. So we go in there, we didn't know if we wanted to put our names in there or do something funny. So we decided to write Tanner's name and number with, I think it was Call for a Good Time.
Yep.
I drive a 2003 F7.
Yep.
And you gotten a few phone calls from it.
Late at night. I don't know what inspired me to answer, because when I don't recognize a number, I don't normally answer it, or like if it's a further away, like when it, on iPhone it pops up with like what city it might be from. And so I answer this call, and they're like laughing their asses off. Is this Tanner with the F7? Yeah. It's like 11:30 at night, so I'm kind of like, what the heck is going on? It says call for a good time. We're up in Michigan. I'm like, oh, them fuckers. They got me good. And I've gotten a few of them. That was the one I just described was probably the funniest one. Like, they're two drunk dudes. You could tell it was two of them, and they're just laughing their ass off. That was funny. And you know what? I can't ever be mad about that.
No, I don't think you haven't got any numbers for a while, have you? Or any calls for a while?
I mean, that was...
Maybe they painted the bathroom.
Well, that was a brand new door you guys wrote on. So, I mean, they're probably on like their third or fourth door at this point. I think next episode, I don't know. That trip in general needs a whole episode.
Yeah. At least the highlight in it.
Or like a good chunk of it, because how either of us survive that, I don't know. Well, it's been a good time, Derek.
has.
And I think we could keep rambling on for hours at this point.
Yeah. We're getting close to that hour mark, though, so
We're kind of trying to keep it
up.
Keep it an hour or less for you all so you don't waste your day away listening to two goobers on some microphones. So, unless you guys want longer episodes, I mean, we could probably pull it off. Because this episode, I think we could keep going if we really wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't hit all of my caveman things yet, but we hit most, like the trip that I want to do.
You want to do it in closing statements of your caveman stuff before we finish it off?
Not really. Just that if they want to see the cheap vehicle trip, share it. Try and get any coworkers that might not know us that you think would enjoy listening to a couple goobers just ramble. Let everyone you can know about it.
Yeah, share. I mean, we greatly appreciate it. We have had a grand time making these podcasts.
It's honestly fun. I mean, we'll just sit at work and BS after work. So it's like, might as well come here and record it.
And let some other people, I mean, everyone at work always thinks some of them think it's funny and entertaining anyways. Another thing, we'd really appreciate it if you guys left us some feedback. We really enjoy the positive feedback you guys gave us after the first episode. Like we said, we haven't released the second episode as of recording this yet, so we don't know how the second episode's going to do. But we're going to be a week ahead. Check our social media platforms for clips. We're going to work on that throughout the week, give you some sneak peeks of the next episode, because I guess we can't really talk about that for tomorrow. It's going to be for the next episode. You might have already seen it if you start seeing our social media. But yeah, there's a lot of big things coming, and we want to keep making this podcast better and better and growing our fan base. You got anything left to say, Derek?
I think you covered it all.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching.